Hello, orchid lovers around the world. In today's video, we're going to restore a dying orchid using a simple homemade fertilizer. Let's get started. I recently bought this orchid for a fairly cheap price. The owner told me I might as well throw it away after a few days, but he clearly underestimated just how resilient orchids really are. Still, judging by the look of this plant, I can see why he felt that way. The leaves are shriveled, limp, and completely lacking that healthy, firm texture we normally see. Their green color has faded into a pale yellowish tone, with brown spots creeping along the edges. Some leaves even feel paper-thin to the touch, almost brittle, as if they're about to tear off on their own. The stem looks weak and dried out in certain areas, giving off the impression that the plant has been neglected for quite some time. We're going to start by cutting off the part that still has the potential to grow, which in this case is the top section of the orchid. This is where new tissues and leaves are more likely to sprout. Using a clean, sharp pair of scissors or shears, carefully trim away the damaged lower portion while keeping the healthy top intact. Upon closer inspection, we can see fungus already starting to eat its way up the stem. We need to quickly cut off the infected portion to prevent it from spreading any further. If left unchecked, the fungus will continue to weaken the plant, eventually destroying even the parts that are still healthy. Now we're going to start cleaning it. Use a water spray and gently mist the trim part of the plant, making sure to wash away any dirt, sap, or small particles still clinging to the cut. This step is important because it reduces the chance of bacteria or fungus infecting the fresh wound. Be gentle with the spray. Too much force can damage the delicate tissues. Now, use a handkerchief or any clean tissue and gently begin wiping down the stem. This helps remove any lingering moisture, dirt, or fungal residue that could continue to harm the plant. Be careful not to rub too harshly. Just a gentle wipe is enough to keep the surface clean and reduce the risk of further infection. Next, we're going to make the fertilizer for the plant. Grab yourself a clean container, and we'll start with coffee grounds. Coffee grounds are a great natural source of nitrogen, which is essential for promoting healthy leaf growth and helping the orchid regain its strength. Add about 1 teaspoon of used coffee grounds into the container. Along with adding 500 milliliters of boiling water. Stir them well together to make sure the nutrients are fully released into the water. After that, grab a towel and carefully wrap it around the container. This will help retain the heat and allow the coffee grounds to steep properly. Leave it there for about 1 hour so the mixture has enough time to cool down and settle. After an hour, your mixture should be ready. Grab yourself a strainer and carefully filter out all of the remaining particles that can't be broken down. What we want is a smooth, nutrient-rich liquid without any clumps, since fine roots of orchid can get damaged if large particles stick to them. Now, use a small cup or container to scoop out a portion of the solution. Take a clean tissue. Let it soak thoroughly in the liquid. And then gently brush it against the stem of the orchid. Make sure to cover the entire surface evenly. This not only disinfects the stem, but also allows it to absorb those nutrients directly. Grab yourself another container. Place the stem inside and slowly pour the solution directly into the container. Keep in mind, you don't want to submerge the entire orchid. Only the bottom portion of the stem and the roots should be in contact with the liquid. This way, the plant can gradually absorb the nutrients it needs without risking rot or overexposure. Let it sit in this position for 25 minutes. While we wait for the stem to enjoy its nutrient bath, we can start fixing up another orchid. Take the previous orchid plant and carefully remove any small parasite plants or weeds that are growing around it, as they compete for nutrients. Once that's done, we can use the same coffee solution. Dip a clean tissue into it and gently brush it across the leaves. This will not only clean off dust and bacteria, but also give the leaves an extra boost of energy, helping them regain their shine and strength. You may also notice some parts of the leaves that have been eaten by insects or show signs of fungal infection. These areas often appear as holes, dark spots, or patches that look soft and decayed. When you come across them, focus a bit more of the coffee solution on those spots. Gently dab or brush the mixture over the damaged sections. Get yourself a spray bottle, pour in the solution, and lightly mist it around the plant. Be sure to cover both the top and underside of the leaves, since pests and fungal spores often hide underneath. A fine mist also helps keep the plant hydrated and allows it to absorb nutrients more evenly. Just remember not to oversaturate. The goal is a gentle coating, not dripping wet leaves. And now we're going to water the roots of the plant. Scoop up the remaining solution and carefully pour it down onto the base of the orchid. This allows the nutrients to seep directly into the root system, where they're most needed for recovery. Make sure the solution spreads evenly through the growing medium, but avoid flooding it. Orchids love moisture, but too much water can quickly lead to root rot. After 25 minutes, take out the stem that's been soaking in its nutrient bath. Using a clean tissue soaked in the same solution, give the stem another gentle rub. Focus especially on the cut edges and any areas that looked weak or infected before. This extra step helps disinfect the surface again and ensures the plant absorbs as much of the nutrient-rich mixture as possible. Next, we're going to use a piece of garlic, an excellent natural remedy for plants. Start by cutting the garlic clove in half. You'll notice that the inside is moist and full of natural oils. With a clean tool, make a small cut or notch in the center so it's easier to handle. Now take that freshly exposed inside surface and carefully rub it along the trimmed edges of the orchid stem. Garlic is well known for its antifungal, antibacterial, and even pest-repelling properties. By applying it directly to the cut edges, we're creating a natural protective barrier against fungus and bacteria that would otherwise attack the vulnerable tissue. At the same time, the natural compounds in garlic encourage faster healing and stimulate new tissue growth. Repeat the same process with the other orchid plant. Gently rub it over any trimmed roots or cut edges on this plant as well. This ensures both orchids are equally protected from fungal or bacterial infections. Now we're going to use cinnamon powder on both the orchid stem and the plant. Take a very small portion, just a pinch is enough, and gently rub it along the freshly trimmed edges. Cinnamon acts as a natural sealant and powerful antifungal, preventing bacteria and fungus from entering through the vulnerable cuts. Make sure to apply it evenly around the edges without overcoating, since too much powder can dry the tissue excessively. Next, we're going to use a piece of foam. Cut or trim it down so it can fit snugly at the bottom of the container we're about to use. The foam will act as a water reservoir, keeping just the right amount of moisture available without letting the roots sit directly in standing water. This helps create a humid microenvironment around the orchid while preventing the risk of root rot. Make sure the foam sits flat and evenly across the bottom of the container. Any gaps could cause the plant to tilt or drain unevenly. Once the foam is in place, carefully position the stem directly into it, making sure the freshly cut edge sinks gently into the foam. This allows the stem to stay upright and secure, while also keeping the healing area slightly moist, which encourages new root formation. Next, slowly pour a small amount of clean water into the container. The goal here is not to flood it. Just add enough for the foam to absorb and hold a thin layer of moisture. The foam will act like a sponge, maintaining steady humidity around the orchid without drowning it. When that's done, place a pot with drainage holes directly on top of the container. This setup creates a stable microenvironment. The plant gets consistent moisture and airflow, while the drainage pot ensures excess water never collects around the roots. Now I need to maintain this setup consistently for about 5 weeks. During this time, keep an eye on the moisture level in the foam. Make sure it stays slightly damp but never soaking wet. After 5 weeks, you can clearly see the progress. The stem, which once looked dry and lifeless, is now showing small but strong signs of recovery. At the base, fresh green root tips are beginning to push out, which tells us the plant is actively regrowing and absorbing nutrients again. The leaves, although still scarred from their earlier damage, are no longer soft and wrinkled. Instead, they've become firmer to the touch, with a slight shine returning to their surface. Some new shoots are even starting to form at the crown, a promising sign that the orchid is regaining its energy and will eventually produce healthy foliage. As for the plant itself, it has regained much of its strength. The overall color has shifted from a dull yellowish tone back to a healthy green, showing that it's actively photosynthesizing again. The roots that survived are noticeably thicker and stronger, with fresh white tips extending further into the medium. Even the stem feels firmer and more stable than before, no longer soft or hollow. While the older leaves still carry scars from insect bites and fungal damage, the newer growth looks clean and untouched, which means the plant is finally moving past its weak stage. It's a night and day difference compared to how it looked when we first brought it home. Now we're going to prepare a new home for our recovering stem. Start by choosing a pot with proper drainage holes. This is essential for orchids since they absolutely hate sitting in stagnant water. Fill the pot halfway with orchid-grade pine bark, which provides excellent aeration and allows the roots to breathe. Once the first layer of pine bark is done, add a thin layer of moss on top. This will help retain just the right amount of moisture around the roots without making the medium soggy. Next, carefully place the stem on top of the moss, making sure it sits upright and stable. Finally, fill in the remaining space with the rest of the pine bark, gently spreading it around the stem until the pot is full. Remember not to press the bark down too firmly. Keeping it loose allows for good airflow and prevents root suffocation. We're going to cover the top with another layer of moss. This final layer acts like a natural blanket, helping to hold in just enough moisture for the orchid while also protecting the roots from drying out too quickly. Moss is especially helpful for young or recovering orchids, since it creates a humid microclimate around the base without suffocating the plant. And finally, let's talk about the routine of taking care of the stem. For the first few weeks, keep the plant in a bright location with indirect sunlight. Too much direct sun can stress the tender new growth. Water lightly, just enough to keep the moss slightly damp, but always check that the pot drains properly to avoid root rot. Every 7 to 10 days, you can mist the leaves and roots with a diluted version of the coffee fertilizer we prepared earlier. This will provide a steady supply of nutrients without overwhelming the plant. LSO, make sure to keep good airflow around the orchid to prevent fungus from returning. With consistent care, patience, and observation, this stem will continue to strengthen and eventually grow into a healthy, thriving orchid once again. Indeed, there you have it. The step-by-step process of restoring what many would call a hopeless orchid. With a bit of patience, the right fertilizer, and consistent care, even a weak plant like this can surprise you with new life. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please leave a like to support the channel. Share your own experiences or tips with orchids in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you take care of yours. And if you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more orchid care guides and restoration projects. Until next time, happy growing, orchid lovers!